So sing a song for women everywhere.
In a powerful gathering to mark International Women's Day 2024, some members of SOROPTIMIST International facilitated an enlightening event at Yah Gladys's residence in the Essos neighborhood of Yaoundé, Cameroon.
SOROPTIMIST International is a global voice for women that is out to promote the woman and the girl child. It works with the United Nations in all the 17 SDGs of the United Nations. We are in partnership with the United Nations because we are on the ground for the well-being of the woman and the girl child, to educate, empower, and to enable the woman and the girl child.
The occasion brought together three remarkable women's groups, notably the Bongsiysi Women of Dignity, the Limanton Women's Group, and the Lamso Choir Women of Presbyterian Church, Bastos. The event focused on critical aspects of women's empowerment and advocacy. Participants delved into the significance of Women's Day, recognizing the achievements, resilience, and contributions of women worldwide.
And I think we want to change the narrative on the understanding of what Women's Day is all about. But I also want to insist that March is what they call a Women's History Month, meaning that we go down in history to look at the women's trajectory, where they have been since 1975 from Copenhagen to Nairobi in 1980, to Beijing in 1990. And now today we are celebrating the 29th edition of Women's Day in Cameroon. And so we need to do a flashback to see where women have been, the challenges that they've had, and how we can chart the way forward. And by bringing to the fore issues that concern women on the economic front, on the social front, on the political front, and also as human beings and partakers in nation building. So I think that the crux of celebration of Women's Day is women standing in solidarity, women acknowledging where other women have been, knowing that we are standing on the strong shoulders of women who have gone before us, and seeing how we can pass on the relay baton to the future generation. So I think that we need to focus more on the issues that concern women. We need to redirect the way we commemorate and not celebrate International Women's Day.
A crucial discussion unfolded, shedding on the pervasive issue of gender-based violence against women and the girl child.
We know that most times women have suffered for a lot of discrimination. And that's why the SOROPTIMIST International is out to say that women are treated equally. SDG 4 is about education. We know education is power. We also work in gender equality. Most of the problems women suffer on earth today is due to gender inequality, and most especially gender-based violence. It's all over the world, not only in Africa. And we want to draw awareness, raise awareness that women should be very conscious of their rights as women to make their lives better.
The attendees explored strategies to raise awareness, support survivors, and create safe communities starting from their homes.
I am hoping that we have planted a seed in them, and that they in turn will nurture the seeds and make sure that the seeds grow and produce more fruit. We hope that through the educative talks that we've had with them, that we've reignited in them a sense of knowing who they are, their beingness, their amazingness, to know that they are phenomenal women created in the image of God, and that they are fearless, and that they are also, most importantly, human beings, and they should be treated as such. It is Hillary Clinton who said once that women's rights are human rights once and for all. So when you talk about human rights, you talk about women's rights. We're just saying that we're not better than anybody else. We are just human beings in a human space, having a human experience, and we should be treated with respect and with love, knowing that we too can contribute greatly to nation building and to making humanity a better place to be.
Women's empowerment was at the heart of the gathering. They discussed economic empowerment, education, and leadership opportunities for women in Cameroon. A health talk centered around cervical cancer emphasized the importance of early detection, prevention, and access to health care.
That of cervical cancer. It is the number one killer of African women. And most of the time, we realize that it's lack of knowledge, ignorance, and uneducation. When I asked how many of you women have ever heard of cervical cancer, not up to 10%. And if they know and are educated that there is a killer disease called cervical cancer, they will take all the precautions to protect themselves or help to eliminate it. At the age of 30 or once you're sexually active, just go for your screening. You know, they say knowledge is power. They say once you diagnose, you're healed. So go for your screening, whatever type they find, whatever level of cervical cancer they find in you, you will be treated. And don't minimize any type of discharge from your womanhood. If you're going to bleed or you have some smelly discharges, women always suspect the worst. Go for your cervical cancer screening once every year until you're 60. At 60, it is said from everything that they've discovered that from 60, a woman will not have cervical cancer. The take home is know it exists, go for your screening, go for treatment. And for children or adolescents, girls who have not yet attained the age of 18 and who are not sexually active, they should go for their vaccination. It's just one vaccination that protects you from the human papillomavirus, which causes cervical cancer.
The various women groups were actively engaged in this vital conversation.
It was a great pleasure to be here in Viban Gladys place at ESOS. We were invited and we got some education on how a woman should take good care of herself and her family. And then we got lessons on how a woman should know if she had cancer, and then she can screen herself. And then we were educated on how a woman should empower herself financially and otherwise.
They have not taught how to live as a woman in the house, how to interact with others, then how to be submissive to our husband. We have also learned a lot on health, mostly on health. You know, women nowadays, they are mostly sick of this illness called cancer. It's all over the world, it's rampant. So they taught us how to prevent it. If you know that you're having the illness of cancer, they taught of several cancer, you should go for screening oftenly, mostly once a year.
The event, held on Tuesday evening of March 5, left a lasting impact on all participants. It underscored the urgency of investing in women to accelerate progress, echoing the theme of International Women's Day 2024, Invest in Women, Accelerate Progress. As the sun set over ESOS, these women stood united, embodying strength, resilience, and hope. Their collective voices echoed through the halls, reaffirming the importance of celebrating and uplifting women in our society.
We are the global voice for women, the largest voluntary women's organization in the world. And we are very influential at the level of United Nations because we influence decisions that eventually become policies.
As Cameroon joins the global celebration of International Women's Day, The voices of these women resonate, reminding us that progress begins with empowering women.